Good morning. It's me, Webster Lewin, the Masked King of New Jersey. Yes, I have my new hat on. Masked King of New Jersey. And it is Wednesday morning, a little after 9 a.m. on July 21st. And I'm here today to talk about some new masks. Now, as I mentioned, I posted an article in patch.com yesterday, and there's a lot going on right now in the world of coronavirus pandemic still. I live here in New Jersey. We've seen rising case levels, over 500 new cases a day in New Jersey for the last couple of days. I'm not sure what they are today. But in general, things have been trending up for the last few weeks from an average of about 200 cases a day to now 500 cases a day. And as everyone is saying, this is like a pandemic of the unvaccinated. So I'm vaccinated. My whole family's fully vaccinated. I encourage everyone to get vaccination. I feel great. I am so glad I did it. And those folks out there that are still hesitant, they really need to look into this because the Delta variant is a killer. I mean, it just spreads so amazingly fast. I mean, if you're not vaccinated, you're going to get the Delta variant. It's almost certain. And what it does to you now, 90% of people won't have symptoms, let's say. Okay, do you want to take a chance that you're the 1 in 10 that does? And then do you want to take a chance that you're, the 2%, like in Essex County, which is near where I live, the mortality rate for COVID is 2.5%, right? So everyone talks about, oh, well, you've got a 99.99 chance, ridiculous, of surviving. Well, that's just not true. It really depends on so many things. It's things that you don't even know. You may have health issues you don't even know about. I knew that I had some health issues. So I was among the first to get the vaccine. I got my first dose in January of this year. I got my second dose in February, and, thank goodness we're all fully vaccinated in this household. So I feel very lucky. However, as you've seen from some of my recent TikToks, I've been still wearing my mask when I go out shopping, and anytime I'm in a public space, I will wear a mask. And some of the masks I've been wearing recently, I've been wearing this one, which is the Philips Fresh Air mask. Was one of my favorites during the height of the pandemic. It has it has an N95 filter with a vent, right? It does have a vent, and it has an electric fan that blows the stale air out, right? So yeah, it doesn't protect anyone else except me. That's true. But my philosophy is you protect others best when you protect yourself fully. So I'm actually a big advocate of vented masks. And I think we should even consider, I think masks are going to be required for school kids. And I think wearing a vented mask is so much more comfortable than not a vented mask. And for kids, if they all just wore vented masks, they would be able to not be at risk of getting COVID or bringing it to somebody else who may not be vaccinated. So I've been wearing my mask a lot when I go out, and some people think it's not right to wear vented masks. That's your opinion. I happen to disagree. I also have been wearing a couple other masks recently. This one is I got my Philips Fresh Air mask from Taobao, and that's a Chinese website, but it's made by Philips. I actually ordered a new cover for it, a gray cover that's on the way here right now. I also wear this mask quite a bit recently because I have a lot of extra filters for this, and I haven't really worn it much. It doesn't have, unlike the Philips mask, it doesn't have a nose wire. This is AirPop. They're actually a pretty big brand for masks. And they have a lot of different styles, colors, and stuff to choose from. It feels really good when it's on. And even though it doesn't have a nose wire, it has this special material here. I'm not sure what it is, but it creates a seal against your skin, and it's like you think like after a while, like it kind of wears out, but it doesn't. It's always sticky. I mean, for the first few minutes, you need to kind of make sure it's tied around the nose. I use my glasses sometimes to hold it, the seal on the nose for a while, but after a while, it's got a really good seal and it's quite comfortable. And I like the way it looks. You know, I like this blue, obviously. Um, so Air Pop is one that I rely on. I got that off of Taobao as well, but you can buy. There's a airpop.com website. You can buy those. The Philips mask isn't available in the U.S. And then last but certainly not least is this one from Airinum, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit. The Airinum light air mask, and it is light. It's very light. It's made of a very flexible material. I don't know if this is spandex or what, but it it fits on really nicely. It comes in actually 4 sizes. So there's small, medium, large, plus there's kids sizes. And the filters are super high quality. They're replaceable, and like 4 layers or I'm not sure, but they are very stand. The nose wire is really what's great though. If you look here, you'll see there's like some padding against the nose wire, and that makes for a perfect seal around the nose. You never have to worry about any fogging up of glasses or anything like that with this mask. That's one of the reasons I really like it. But like any mask without a vent, it does tend to get a little bit steamy inside if you're wearing it for a long time. What we're going to talk about now is the other option. It's actually not newer. The Urban Air Mask has been around for a while from Airinum, and you can buy them on airinum.com. I bought my uh, light air mask from Taobao, from the Airinum store on taobao.com. And it took a little while to get here, but I saved about $20. Now, though, however, the price has pretty much equaled out. So there's no savings from buying it on Taobao. You can just buy it on, I think they lowered the price on the US Airinum.com store. And I bought this one that we're going to open up now. It's the Airinum Urban Air Mask, right? 2.0. So besides the mask, I bought a pack of 3 replacement filters, and these filters are interchangeable. They they go in like that. I'm sure this filter quality is the same as the one for the light air mask. They do have these 2 holes, right? And these are for vents, right? However, as you'll see, this mask has the option of not using vents. So why don't we go ahead and start opening this up? All right. I'm really not good at ripping plastic. I don't know why, but in any case, let's get this off here. I think their packaging is really cool. It looks nice. I like I mean, I guess this is so it can hang in the store, but um, I have not seen anything like this in stores. So it slides out from the cover like that, and then there's inside is a welcome tab. There's some instructions here that tell you how to put the mask together. There's a booklet or a card, like a welcome card that talks about their vision for people being able to breathe clean air. And as you see here, these are the valve caps, right? So the valve caps are what prevents the vents from venting, right? And those are the what's different about this mask is even though it has a vent, it also has a way to cap it, right? So let's see here. These are the stoppers for the vents, right? These are the vent stoppers. This is a filter, right? This is one filter, and inside at least one more filter, okay? Another filter. So I've got these two filters plus the three that I bought, and this is actually what I was really finally got me to open it, because I lost my light air mask came with this really cool bag, pretty much the same as this. It seems like the same size. It's a really nice bag, and I when I was at Six Flags recently, I lost it, fell out of my pocket. So, um, that kind of sucked. But this is a really nice bag. If you probably can't see it, but it has their logo embossed on it, and I'll be looking forward to having that again for whatever mask I end up putting it in here. I'm going to set these valve stoppers aside here. They're going to go in my bag so that when I need to use them, I can. I'm going to put them in the bag now because I'm not going to use them while I put this together. But I think that's just a brilliant idea. It's like, so you can use this mask when you're in places like where you want to protect others as well as yourself. That's why they give you these valve stoppers. So these are the regular valve caps. I'll put that here, and then the strap is also very interesting. Let's see if I can get this apart here. I believe this is an additional strap that's for behind your neck, right? So in addition to going around your ears, there's the option of adding a neck strap to increase the tension and the seal. The mask itself is actually much thinner than the light air mask, right? So it's very lightweight material. It's the different material. It has the two holes for the vents, and it's easy to see, which side is up. They give you instructions. I bought the size large, right? So it's really nice that when you have the option of different sizes. Unfortunately, the Philips mask only comes in one size, and it is designed more for Asian faces. So sometimes the seal is a little bit loose. When the filter's been used a few times, and one of the things I recommend highly is investing in a UV cleaner, a sanitizer box, which I've had since pretty much the beginning. I have two of them now. One that's larger and can hold like two or three masks, and to place those masks in those like for about 10 minutes, and sanitize them after every single use, right? So that kills all the bacteria, because your body naturally puts out bacteria, right? There's bacteria in your body, and anytime you breathe out, you're going to be putting uh, contaminants on the inside of your mask, right? And that's what gets really nasty, is those contaminants breed on the surface of the mask medium, and then they're going to eventually they're going to form a little colony on there. So if you want to get the most out of your mask filters or disposable mask, when you take the tag off here, be sure to sanitize them, using UV light. There is an instruction book here. I think I've studied this mask enough to know how to put it together, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and open up a filter, and the packaging is very nice, I gotta say. So these filters have little vents in them, right? So there's the same foam nose piece that's in the light air mask, right, to help the seal. Um, Again, it's like instructions on which side is which, and get that stopper there through, and you can get the vent through here, and that one, and then attach the Velcro. Be sure the Velcro is on here. Okay, and now we will find the vent caps. All right, well, I guess we'll use the vent stopper for now. We'll show you how that works. So essentially there is something that holds the vent shut. And it clicks on right there. And these are exhalation valve stoppers. So if you want to reduce the ventilation function, all right, so they're in there now. All right, so now it's assembled, but it's assembled with the non-venting mode here. So go ahead and put that on. Okay, so it's also adjustable. You can tighten it here, like you pull this. All right, pull it here, adjust again, and voila! So you're ready to go, and you're protecting other people at the same time. So um, I'm going to wear it with the vents open for the most part. But even with the vents closed, there's no air coming out of the top around my glasses. My glasses are not fogging. You see, it's got a tight seal down below. The fit is really good. I gotta say, I love the way it fits around the chin, and I can tell that the mask is doing a good job at filtering the air, and the air I'm breathing out is going out through the mask. So that's good. I'm going to take it off now. And again, there is a strap here that can be attached. This strap here is actually attached to the ear loops, right? And you can use that behind your neck. Those are adjustable. These are adjustable. They have the Swedish flag here to let you know that it is designed in Sweden, right? So yeah, that's the Urban Air Mask 2.0, and I'm glad to be finally opening that out. Be putting it to good use. You'll probably see it in some of my upcoming TikToks, and please do follow me on TikTok. I'm WLO Global on TikTok. I'm also WLO Global on Twitter and Instagram and WeChat and Snapchat and pretty much everywhere. I'm WLO Global. So yeah, thanks for joining uh, this morning. If you have any questions, feel free to post them on the video, and I'll get back to you. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and do more of these. I think it's good to kind of touch base every more regularly, and let people know what's going on. One of the things that's interesting here in Chatham, and you've probably seen this in other places too, around New Jersey at least. There's these folks that have been putting up signs that say "Unmask our kids," and I understand. Masks aren't always comfortable for people, right? Like especially if you're wearing unvented masks, right? And kids in general, my kids haven't complained that much about it, but they're teenagers and they're both vaccinated. So even though when they go to school, they still mask up, they're really not complaining that much about it. And but I could see some kids might have an issue with it, but part of that is also they kids tend to model the attitudes of their parents. So if their parents are fussing about it all the time, then they're more likely to oh my god, I put these up here. That's where they were. They were sitting on the computer the whole time. So isn't that great? I'm going to go ahead and swap them out now because I want to have those ready to go next time. Right. So just take those stoppers out, and then this version doesn't have something that presses on the little gasket, and so it allows the vent to happen, right? Allows venting of the mask. So I put it so that the logo is facing up. There we go. Got a nice little snap there. And take the other vent stuff. I like that they made it real clear on the vent stoppers that that it's a stopper, right? So it clearly says, this is stopping the vent. So if anyone has questions, they can just like read my mask, you know. So the but like I said, I am going to be wearing the vented version of this when I go out. I wear goggles when I go out in stores still, and I wear latex or nitrile gloves when I go out. So I'm not taking chances in the stores. I do not want to get COVID. I do not want to pass it to anyone, even though I'm vaccinated. I don't want to risk being a breakthrough case and potentially having long COVID symptoms, for a long time. And there's no point. There's no point. And plus, masks look cool. This is a cool looking mask, actually. I think this is like the coolest mask I think I have now. And it doesn't have a fan, but oh my God, that's a huge difference. Oh yeah, much better. So yeah, now when I breathe out, the the tighten this side too. There we go. So now when I breathe out, the air is going out the vent. Yeah, it feels really good. So this is the Airinum Urban Air Mask 2.0, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. I just took it out of the box, so we'll see. You'll see me, like I said, on TikTok uh, in the near future, probably wearing this. And oh, you may be wondering what my shirt says. It's Chinese, obviously, but it says "hot-blooded youth," and so I like that. I feel like I am like a hot-blooded youth, and it's funny because it gets great reactions from Chinese people when I see them. They always smile, and I smile back. So it's kind of a way to uh, have fun. I'm 59 years old. I'm going to be 60 years old at the end of August. So August 29th, if you're wondering when my birthday is. And so I am still a hot blooded youth. What can I say? Very hot blooded, very young on the inside. I think these masks are really cool. I'm really glad to have gotten into this as sort of a hobby. And yeah, so I am going to keep it up. I mean, I think even after it's safe. There's going to be times that we want to wear masks. I think masks have been like a lot of these ones, like this Philips mask. This was actually designed before the pandemic because of air quality issues, right? So this past week we had an air quality alert here in New Jersey because of a smoke plume from forest fires in Canada. So we had like the last 24 hours, I think there was a 2.5 millimeter particle uh, 2.5 whatever microns alert on the weather stations that said it's not safe to breathe the air. So you know if I go into Manhattan, usually the air is pretty good, but sometimes it's good. I and also have allergies, right? One of the things I've done since this all began is I have so many masks. I've had I like to wear a vented mask, and I have a few extra that are okay. Like especially I like this Smart Me mask that I have. I wear it when I go cut the grass, and you know, on cool days, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I wear these headphones when I cut the grass too. So on cool days, and so it's nice. It's like I also have a sports mask that has two vents that I was wearing for a while, and it's pretty good for cutting the grass. So what happens because I have allergies to grass, right? So I used to get hit with dust and grass from cutting the grass, and now after I cut the grass, I feel fine. And most of my allergy symptoms are totally gone now for the most part, except for this time of year. I get itchy eyes, and because I went through immunotherapy for allergies, and so I've been able to be almost symptom free for the last 5 years because of that. And but I still take allergy medication like eye drops and nose spray and Allertec from Costco uh, every day. Just because I have ongoing dust mite allergies. Right, so like on my, so that's another reason to have these masks. Now you probably all seen my microclimate air. Now I think it's interesting that their marketing recently has been focusing on California and how it can help, with improving air quality because of all the fires and allergies and less about the pandemic. But yet, meanwhile, Los Angeles has reimposed an indoor mask mandate. So they're among the first counties, and it's the right thing for them to do at this point. I mean, if you look at the number of deaths from COVID in LA County, it's the top county, I believe. Union County, which is not where I live in Morris County, but right next door in Union County, is the number 19 in terms of death. I think they've had over 36,000, I think, dead from COVID in Union County. It's it's a lot of people. So people can, complain about masks and vaccines and all of the restrictions all they want, but you got to face reality. Look at how China was able to control their outbreak. Essentially locking people down for over a month in the highest hit area, and then there are restrictions for travel now. Like you can't fly to China from the U.S. Directly unless you can only fly to Shanghai, and the cost of a flight to China right now is about $10,000 round trip. When you get there, I mean, think about that. Who can afford $10,000 for a ticket? I think the most I ever paid for a trip to China is like $3,000 round trip. So the price has gone up astronomically. And I have a 10-year visa which can't be used because now you have to get approval from the consulate before you can go, even though you have a visa. And then when you get there, you can only fly to Shanghai. You have to go into a 2-week quarantine in Shanghai. And then if you want to go anywhere else in the country, wherever you go, you have to go through another 2-week hotel quarantine, and you have to pay for the hotel and for the food for those 2 weeks. And when you're in the hotel, you can't leave the room. So essentially, you go into a 4-week detainment, 1 month detainment, just to go to see anybody, have any fun in China right now. So it's just really not practical. But as soon as that changes, I will be taking another trip back. I'm very excited to see how much things have changed there since I was there in 1998. It's like I love China. Of course, I love the United States. I live here, but I think China gets such a bad rap in the media here these days. It's like it's so biased against China, and I think a lot of it does have to do with just jealousy. I mean, we made this mistake of putting all of our heavy industry in China, manufacturing in China, but the reason why it was happening is because the lower costs and lower costs. We all benefited from those lower costs in our life. So um, yeah, we should be doing more manufacturing here, but to do that cost effectively is going to be a huge challenge. And you can't blame people in China for being good at what they do, which is manufacturing things at a lower cost. So um, I think they've been able to turn their trade surplus into a huge benefit to all of their people. I mean, their uh, high-speed rail system is second to none. I mean, they just have incredible transit infrastructure right now, and the um, the average Chinese, they believe that their life is better right now than it was 10 years ago, and they believe that their kids' life is going to be even better than theirs. So even though it's an authoritarian uh, government, it's been responsive and it's performed very well. So before we criticize, why don't we look at ourselves and see how responsive we've been over the last 30 years and how well we've performed over the last 30 years. So I think it's pretty obvious that our infrastructure is crumbling and we can't seem to get anything done in our government hardly. I mean, there have been some good things that happened over the past year. I mean, the stimulus checks and the recent child tax credit, I think, are a huge plus. I mean, I personally was very much thrilled to get that check in the mail, directly in my bank, actually, last week, and was able to pay my uh, car insurance with that, which I was kind of like struggling with at that time. And I paid my mortgage before the deadline as well. So it was a little bit short in the checking account, and that money really made a difference. And knowing that that money's coming every month, at least for the next 6 months, and hopefully it'll be permanent, is freaking awesome. I mean, those are the kind of things that having the Democratic majority in Congress, it's been a big plus. But on the other side of that, I think there's been a lot of things that they haven't done, and it's just not clear why. So I mean, I do appreciate what the Democrats have done since they took over, but there's so much more to do, right? Um, so we'll see what happens. The country is definitely improving. We've got some prices going up. That's true, but in general, I mean, I think things have been going in the right direction since the beginning of this year, and I hope they continue to move so and even faster. I think in terms of the pandemic response, I think it was probably premature to not require masks indoors. I think uh, the way that was kind of announced, like, oh, okay, no more masks, and then it was kind of like they should, at least at the very least, they should have specified that it's very likely, or it's at least possible that masks will come back at some point. We have to keep an eye on this, and especially with this Delta variant. It's amazing that it went from the beginning. I started tracking the number of Delta variant cases in New Jersey in like early July, and I think there were like uh, they had six cases that showed up, and it was like there was some family in Edison that had come from India, and then they'd gone to a party in Edison. This is what was on social media, and they were some of the first cases, and then from that it just spread like wildfire. Whereas as of this week now, the Delta variant makes up over 50% of all new infections in New Jersey. So it's growing so fast. Like I said earlier, I think if you don't have a vaccination at this point, you either need to get one or just assume that you are going to get the Delta variant, and they're willing to take the consequences of that. The consequences could be for you. It could be for other people that are in your life that are unvaccinated. It could even be consequences for vaccinated people potentially. I mean, that way less likely, but there's still a possibility. So, why not stay safe, right? So I've gone on a little longer than I thought. I thought I was going to go for like half an hour, and I decided to go a little long and talk about a few other things. Um, uh, But it's been great, and even if you're enjoying this after the fact, please, feel free to, drop a comment, tell me what you think of my hat, and, stay safe out there.